Let's. So we have welcome Peter and good morning to you. And rest of us, we have 7 from China, and I think we are from everywhere. Maybe in Shanghai, in Hangzhou, if you have heard about, and Guangzhou. Maybe I will let them to introduce themselves. So we have a check-in question, which is very typical check-in question. Always this question when we meet Peter. We want to know, of course, who are you, your name, and where are you now, and what do you do? What is your role? And then this is about our self-introduction, and the check-in question is, why does it matter to you to be here? Why does today's call matter to you? Okay, so I will introduce myself. I am a Freud's consulting trainer and OD consultant. And I'm in Shanghai. And yeah, my name is May. Yeah, I think maybe with some participants, we have had a lot of conversations, learning together, but some not, maybe. And yeah, why does it matter to me? It always matters to me to have conversation with Peter. Peter has influenced me for 13 years, since 2013, and I always feel like it's such a privilege that I have had a chance to read Peter's book. I learn a lot, and I think the major impact is that I'm really feeling much less anxious with my work, with my client, and I want to create this connection for more people in China, OD practitioners. Yeah. Okay, that's about me. Should I pass to Maria?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Maria, and I'm in Shanghai now, and I'm so happy that we have several more, for Peter, more strangers from our side, from China. So tonight we have actually variety of OD practitioners, joining this dialogue. So I'm very excited. What this matters to me. Yeah, I think the people online tonight we share something, really some passion around OD. No matter we are we're working internally or externally. For me, that's always something exciting to see the human side of the business world.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, so that is what I'm passionate about and what matters to me. Yeah, to bring out the the meaning of human in the organization. Yeah. And also what matters to me for tonight, I think we have got some great questions, and I really look forward to the conversation tonight. Yeah. Okay. 好，那我们就all right, let me pass on to someone. I may be switching in Chinese and English. Yeah. I saw those 2 eyes. Yeah, maybe Abby. Yeah. On my right side on the screen. Yeah.
Hi, Peter and everyone. I'm Abby. And I am in Hangzhou. beautiful city. And it's spring here with all kinds of flowers. So it's very beautiful. And I am an external OD consultant. And this year, I'm working with companies in AI transformation to find new ways for their organizational development. So why does this conversation matter to me? Because today's question is about AI. My question is about AI. As all known, this year as AI application in China have boomed, and the business are growing very rapidly, and the companies now demand more from OD consultants. So we need to know AI and understand their business development and the pain points well. And we need to work fast. So I find it's really a challenge for me. And so I think I hope to figure out some idea or solutions, even solutions this year from the conversation. Yeah. And I pass to Gordon.
我突然想说，我可以说中文吗？
当然，可以的。Peter 也很喜欢听到大家讲中文。
对，Hello
Peter,
Peter.
we were switched between two languages, so I hope you will like it.
Thank you.
That's the only way I'm going to learn Chinese if you speak two languages.
Great. We don't charge you.
OK，
Yes.
Peter 还有大家好，我是 Gordon，我在一家就是中国的新势力或者是电动车的企业里面做内部的 OD 啊，然后我现在今天人在上海，但我长期 base 的地方也是杭州，然后我我需要给一点时间翻译给 Peter 吗？
I'm going to translate for Gordon. Gordon's now working for a leading electric car, right?
Yeah.
Manufacturing company in and he's now based in Shanghai, but his company is in Shanghai, but he's originally from Hangzhou, the same as Ivy.
Yeah， 是的，对，今天对我的意义，我觉得当然很开心有一个跟 Peter 交流的机会，同时我看了提前有收到了这些交流的问题，无论是我自己提的还是其他伙伴提的，我发现好像都挺契合我想去对话的，所以感觉是一种缘分，所以也期待今天有一些收获。或者启发，谢谢。
And Gordon has raised some questions, and that those are included in the list I sent to you, Peter. And Gordon also found that the other question from the rest participants could also be very relevant to him. So he's quite curious and interested in learning from those questions too. And Gordon, Gordon, 你想要转给谁？
那就给万木吧。
万木 ，Okay, Iris. Iris just finished the day one of Flawless Consulting One contracting skills training. Iris and Richard, so they might have some special feeling. Yeah.
是的
，OK，
Hello， 大家晚上好。我是 Iris， 然后我现在我居住在中国的厦门，现在也是在这个地方工作，是一名独立的顾问。今天晚上对我来说，它为什么很重要呢？就第一个当然是，原来觉得是一个距离很远的对象，就是 Peter，然后能够有这样面对面交流的机会，觉得很开心，很荣幸。 然后第二个，我和 Gordon 一样，我也是提前看了这些问题，我发现其实很多也是我在工作当中也真的遇到，然后也还处理的不那么好的那个，所以我觉得今天晚上应该会是一个收获很多的晚上。上，谢谢。
Okay, Iris is in Xiamen, which is a southern city in China, and she's now an independent freelancer consultant in HR and OD, and she's also attracted by the questions raised by all the other participants. A lot of challenges, similar challenges she has faced.
OK，那我给 Rachel 吧。
好，大家好，我叫 Rachel，我来自于广州，大家听得到这个声音吗？
很清楚啊，Rachel。
OK，我很高兴今天有机会能够跟 Peter Brock 见面啊，也跟大家交流。我是一个自己创立了一家管理咨询公司，主要做 AI 加轻咨询的方式，针对的是中小企业的业绩增长，包括它的战略啊、业务以及这个组织人才的全链条的管理。主要针对于是中小型的企业，大概10亿以下的会比较多一点。包括科技、金融、医疗等等的领域，会在广州这边。我今天也很期待这个主题，建立合作伙伴的关系，然后创造一些新的可能性。因为我们在支持企业的快速发展和组织变革转型，哪怕出海的时候，都需要有更多的可能性去面对现在当前的一些环境。差不多，我简单介绍到这里，期待今天有更好的交流。
Rachel is based in Guangzhou, also a southern city in China, and she's a founder of a consulting company, and they are helping small to medium-sized companies to achieve faster growth in business or strategic transformation, and she's particularly attracted by the theme creating new possibilities, because she's trying to help all those companies to create new possibilities. And one thing from Iris I forgot to translate was that Iris felt that originally she felt that Peter is such Peter is very distant to her, and she's very happy that suddenly there's an opportunity to have a face-to-face or the online conversation. Yeah, Rachel, you want to pass to?
Yeah, maybe it's my turn.
Yeah, we only have Vivian. Yes.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Peter, good morning, and everyone, good evening. This is Vivian Zhu, and I'm different with the other team member. I'm in-house HR. Actually, I'm heading the talent development function in a multinational company, and my responsible area is in Greater China market area. So for me, actually in our company, my role and responsibility are also cover the OD function. And in recent years, especially in recent years, you know, as a foreign investment company, and we are facing the very huge competitor situation, and we lost some previous we have a lot of the strengths or some of the technical reputation, and even our customer would like very, very high price and to buy the quality and buy the technology. But in recent years, you know, in China market area, and we are facing the huge challenge and the local competitors. So also in recent years, I worked with our management team to launch a lot of the OD initiatives in the organization to transform the organization and enhance the leadership development and the culture development in it relevant. So for me today, I think it's always very exciting and interesting to join the conversation with our OD practice, our OD consultant. Especially, it's my honor to have the opportunity to have the conversation with Peter and the OD master. So I expect to learn more and get more experience and insight for OD areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. It sounds like we are already moving to the context for all the questions.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be very helpful for Peter to understand our special context here. AI and that is mainly from Ivy and Vivian. I think you represent multinational companies which are really facing new challenges at this time. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we all have introduced ourselves. And Peter, do you have anything to say before we start the main conversation?
Well, it's a gift to me to be with you, because we live in a strange world that treats us as if we're strangers. And it's affirming to me to know that you in China, the language you're using is very familiar to me. Whether it's multinational, or whether it's AI, whether it's competing. And I would say that the hardest part of OD is believing in what we're doing. Our methodology is ridiculously simple. People are in it, wherever you are, people are involved. AI is a shiny object, but it changes nothing in terms of OD and our ability to help people build trust with each other. And it seems like whether you're leadership training, whether people are vibrating because of the AI magic, whether you're competing with small local businesses, you're still trying to help people build trust quickly. I see us as accelerators. And the more we trust each other, the more we can deal with the world.
Yeah.
And the world of AI institutionalizes us. It treats us as commodity. And the information isn't what builds business. People, trust, connection across boundaries. And we have that. It's just that HR is also in transition, because HR was designed to be the people function, but we can't do that. And most HR in the US still treats people as objects. And we use language that treats them, when we hire people, we call it a talent acquisition. And that captures it all, which means I went shopping and I bought you. Welcome to my multinational company. Welcome to my consulting business. Welcome to my local grocery store. I now own you, and I'll try to make my ownership as pleasing as possible to you. And HR with an OD slant says, well, that's not a good way to begin a relationship. The way to begin is to say, thank you. We need you. We need your gifts. We stop using language as if you're a box car and going to onboard you. We don't take people and say, okay, here's that crane will pick you up in a minute and put you where you belong. And so OD is needed more than ever. And people say it's hard times. Well, I've never known a time that wasn't hard for this function. And I'm just grateful that you care about the human side of business. And what's hard for me is to believe that our orientation is as important as it is. It's easy for me to think I'm an outsider. I'm a gypsy. I don't belong. What am I doing here? That's why we need each other, is to say, no, without trust, without relationship, there is no business. We're not going to, the human being will not be replaced. And what I've tried to do with the book and Flawless Consulting is make accelerating trust between strangers simple. And it gets complicated by our habits of conversation. We want to explain things. We want to analyze things. We want to know where this came from. We think that analysis is the same as being productive. And so that's what I'm here for, is to be affirmed by you, and hopefully it goes in both directions.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. I feel like you are already giving answer to all our questions.
Stop that.
But I believe that we still want to hear more elaboration so that we can get more strongly affirmed by you. We need your help to get ourselves assertive in our believing. And let me just check with the rest of participants. 我们现在那个进度怎么样？大家觉得那个我不知道大家有用讯飞啊，如果有用那个翻译的软件的话，怎么样？现在看起来，刚才 Peter 讲的这段话大概有 get 到吗？万木和 Garden 这边怎么样 ？Richard，
还好，就是感觉翻译的不太好，还没
不是太
有自己听的好。
OK， 可能我就简要的，美瑞，你看，就是我简要的来Peter， I want to quickly capture, quickly review what you just said with them because their translation function is not working so well. So just quickly. 刚才因为我问 Peter， 就是说他听到大家的介绍，然后分享自己以后他有什么样的回应，然后他觉得这个对他来说是一个礼物。就是有这样的跟大家来对话，对他是一个礼物。然后他觉得就是听到大家很多的会有一些挑战，对吧？他觉得就是最难的 OD 最难的这个部分就是相信我们所做的，就是其实我们所做的事情其实很简单，就是要去建立信任，建立关系，然后要就是跨越那个边界去建立那个相互之间的连接。因为过去可能 HR 很多时候把就是人当成物品物体了哈，我们现在就是要真正的把人当人啊。然后完美咨询呢，其实是也给了很多的方法，就是其实是让它变得简单。就是但是为什么我们往往会觉得很有挑战，很不简单，很复杂，是因为我们的习惯，我们习以为常的过度的分析，使得我们去跟人去建立信任、建立连接的时候，会变得非常的复杂。大概我先大致的那个翻译一下，然后其他人有补充也可以帮忙说一下。那我们就先往下走好吗？Okay, yeah, thank you. So we will still raise question to you one by one, Peter. Okay, and I will need Maria's help because my computer is not partnering with me today. So yeah, okay. I can look at my mobile phone and read the first question, which is from Gordon. From Gordon as an internal consultant, internal OD. And his question is about contracting. So contracting for partnership. Mainly the question is about some middleman in between me, in between the internal consultant and a real client. Why the middle person, the representatives, wants are not aligned with the real client or not known to the real client. So what should the consultant do? And I think the relevant question, the second question is also relevant, which is about how to establish a good triangle contract with the HR client involved and with the business leader client involved. Gordon's role is OD, so he's facing HR as his client and also the business leader.
So if I talk, put pauses, is it easier for you to translate?
Yeah, good.
I'll try.
Yeah, it's okay, Peter. I think you just go ahead and
okay.
Our
So
someone, yeah.
I first thought about triangular, is you can't contract with somebody who's not present and in the room, even if the room is a Zoom call. And you can't contract. What you're doing is helping HR with their own clients. And so it's best if the three of you are talking at the same time. And most of our work is helping our clients contract with each other. And so if it's triangular, you go through the steps in Flawless, which is you say, after you say hello, Mr. HR and Mr. Line Manager, let's start by saying, what do you want from each other? Line Manager, you go first. What do you want from this HR person, whatever the context of us being together? And if they say, I don't know what I want, you say, thank you. If you did know what you wanted, what might it be? Very simple question, but you're always looking for meaning over steps. And then you listen and you say to the HR manager, now tell me what you want from this line manager. Well, I'm here I'm part of a program. It's a training program. It's a compensation program. I know that's what you're doing here, but what do you want from this line manager? That simple question changes the world. Because instead of describing and analyzing and having thoughts about what I'm doing here, I'm showing up as an agent of the future. If they don't know what they want, at least you've implanted the idea that wants are more important than analyzing the situation, more important than setting goals. They're more important than problem solving because organizational life is complicated. And people sit down and they'll spend hours setting goals, drawing up blueprints, and never, when they're together, say, here's what I want from you. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
And I want to hear those, even if they want magic. Well, I want you to solve this problem and come back to me when it's done. Thank you. And then you have your own wants. You say, well, I need you to be with me at certain points along the way. And then you ask them, how do you feel about what I want? And every culture says, we don't talk about feelings. And I say, well, I understand that. But this is how trust gets built, when people are able to be vulnerable with each other in a supportive and kind way. And that's what you have to bring as head of HR, as an outside consultant. And if you can't get them in the room, it means you don't have a contract with them. And that sometimes that's the way you live. And the other thing you can do is say, okay, you've been talking to each other. Line manager, what do you want from me? That's not what do you expect from me. That's not how do you think about my function. What do you want from me? I don't know what I want. Thank you. If you did know what you want, what would it be? And then you can ask people for doubts. Contracting is, trust is built when we can express our doubts to each other. And say, what doubts do you have, HR? What doubts do you have, line managers, about the two of us? And whatever they say, you say, thank you. You don't answer it. You don't solve it. You never have to explain yourself because it doesn't take you anywhere. Well, you outside consultants, what do you know? What do you know about AI? Huh? Come on, Ivy. It's an AI era. And you say you feel that my not knowing AI is a problem. Yes, it is. I say, thank you for telling me. And those two little devices change the world. And I like you speaking Chinese to each other because I'm here for you to have a conversation with each other. You know, question and answers is a form of foolishness that we put up with out of bad habits. As if you have questions and I have answers. And I live with that, but it does that, you know, and it's simple. It's about wants. It's about accepting people's doubts without having to explain them. I said, where else have you done this before? You know, who are you? Why should I believe in you? I say, good question. But don't answer it, or answer it once. You know, I'm Peter, I'm from so-and-so. I've worked for 7 other companies. Yeah, but what results did you get? I said, you're constant. Every time they push and lean on you, you look for them to put their concerns more directly into words. Because as soon as people speak what they want, speak their doubts, they become agents in that moment. And that's all we want, is for people to show up as co-creators of this business. And it's hard work. And you can't judge how it goes by the moment. Sometimes you ask them what they want and they don't know. Sometimes you ask them what their concerns are and they say, oh, I'm fine. I have no concerns. I'm busy. I'm busy. And but you planted the idea that this is the kind of conversation that takes us somewhere. It changes the world. And if people don't believe in what you're doing, take their side. I've been with you HR people before. You know, I've worked for your multinational company for years. They say, I know you have. And it's never worked out. I say, well, here's our chance. I just never take personally. Anyway, so the triangle, it's always a triangle.
Thank you, Peter. So I'm going to summarize in Chinese, and we will still have chance to review the video later, with the subtitles. So, 就是我先做一个简要的一个总结，就是关于这个三角关系，对吧？三角的这个订立合约，这是 Gordon 提出来的问题，在组织内部经常会碰到。那就是Peter 主要的几个点啊，就是你没有办法让那个不在场的人，你没有办法跟一个不在场的人去订立合约。比如说你通过一个中间人，那你不跟最终的客户去接触，那你主要做的就是你要让他们双方都在场，然后你跟他们去订立合约，然后你还要让他们之间要相互去对话，尤其是相互之间去说出他们相互彼此想要从对方那边得到什么。如果对方说啊我不知道我到底要什么的时候，假如你知道的话是什么，反正你就是要去促进他们去说出他们要什么，因为说出自己要什么非常重要，这是一个转变为一个主动的一个推动者的这样的一种角色定位的一个转折点，所以去让就是相互之间说出我从你这里要什么，你从我这里要什么，这样的对话呢，比起那些分析啊、设定目标啊、画出这个蓝图啊，该怎么样去做，都更加的重要。这是真正的在建立一种关系，然后也可以显示自己的这个暴露自己的一些脆弱，因为这个是真正的来跟对方去建立关系的这个时候。然后就是你问我从我这里想要得到什么，相互之间想要得到什么，跟说你要期待什么是不一样的。你期待什么和你就是希望我们部门这个就是对我们部门有什么期待的，那是不一样的。另外一个非常重要就是说要鼓励对方去以及聆听他们的这个疑问啊、质疑啊这些方面，这个是真正的。来带来这种大家的合作关系的立约的关键所在，就是要让对方能够有 机会把那个心中的质疑呀等等说出来，而你呢不要做过多的一些解释。有的时候可能会遇到一些质疑，你像我们是 AI 时代，你真的懂 AI 吗？等等啊，那你不需要去做更多的过多的这个解释。然后另外 Peter 也就他觉得这个他就是相互之间这个对话非常的重要，所以他也很喜欢听到大家在用中文来对话，因为这是真正的在对话，不是说只是问答的形式。他觉得问答是特别不好的，没有用的一种方式。然后就是真正的大家在说话，在对话，说出自己的内心的顾虑、担心、疑问的时候，我们才是真正的在变成这件事情的主人，在变成这个推动者。OK， 好，先简要回顾一下。OK，yeah，thank you Peter。So
这里高登还有问题吗？关于这个的和你真实的情境中的，你问一下的话，你觉得还有什么想问的？这个还是很好的一个。
谢谢。非常感谢 Peter。对，对，我觉得我刚刚就是在用翻译软件，第一句话说不能在那个就是没有真的客户在场的那个房间签订合约，就很触动我哈。对，其实作为内部的 OD 顾问，我们其实多数的时候会，因为我的搭档可能会是 HR BP，然后他们有他们服务的真正的业务 leader。那其实有的时候 BP 其实就是会带着一个他判断的需求，然后或者是他对业务 leader 需求的理解来找到我们，所以其实他就会带了一个他的期待或者是解决方案，那去跟我想开展合作。我觉得慢慢的我跟 Peter 说的那一点很像，就有这个意识是说我一定会想去跟真实的客户接触一下。去核对一下这个是不是他想要的我觉得这个是非常非常重要的。对，同时我可能也有一个更多一点的问题就是有的时候我们在内部呢，就会遇到一种情况，还有一种情况是可能提出需求的人他是你的 leader，然后他其实又扮演了一个角色，他从中间角色转到了一个就是客户的需求到你这边，就到我这边。我印象里这个还不是在现在一个企业的 case，我记得，当时经历了一个很大的挣扎，就是我会发现，就是他的诉求和真实客户的诉求就是一直是对不上的，但他们两个又没有办法开展对话。我有一次就是可能就是也是借由一个外部的力量吧，然后后来真实的在一个场景里会议的时候，让他们两个说出了对项目的期待，然后
好的，
对，在那一刻我觉得可能会达到了那个一致性，所以我就回应这样的 case 吧。对，
有简要的那个 Gordon，我就简要那个。
好，是
When Gordon heard the first thing Peter said, which is you can never contract with someone who's not in the room, who's not present in the room, he was struck. And he thought that it was the real challenge because very often the HRBP just represent the real client, the business client, to say what the business client wants, but actually it might not be okay. Thank you.
Anytime the HR vice president says, I will tell you what the client wants, never believe it, ever. It's their interpretation of what they think the client wants. It may be nothing you can do about it. But don't believe it's true. When people come to you and say, here's the problem, that's never the real problem. If it was, they would have solved it. I don't say that to them. I say, thank you. I can see your concern.
Okay.
Looking for the underlying causes. And usually it's people the way they are together is the reason that something's not working.
Mm.
And so it's called the presenting problem. And so, Gordon, now I may have to work without direct contact, but I want to be aware of that.
Mm.
And every client I ever had told me how they saw the world. And I just took that as that's how you see the world. I never believed that's the world. And people will say, oh, we're going into a meeting, people. Let me tell you about who's in the room. And it's never useful. It's their version of who's in the room.
Mm.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
And then when I get in the room, I trust what I see, not what they told me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Peter. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
I think Gordon has got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to save some time and move to the second question. And Mariel, you want to raise the second question?
I can read it, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Rachel, let's hear your voice.
Yeah. So now we are moving to the second set of questions, are more some difficult situations. We'll go first with Rachel's questions on, like contracting, but during some conflicts, dealing with some conflicting views. So I can copy paste here into the chat room.
I can read the questions.
Yeah, Peter
Okay.
can read and the other.
Okay, and then so we don't need to yeah, I can read
Peter can answer, right? And then maybe
Okay.
Richard can
就是看
respond.
看 Rachel 有没有什么想要在你的这个问题，你背后还有什么想补充的吗？我们反正把它打在这儿也能看到啊。
是需要我补充什么吗？
对你有任何要补充吗？如果没有，那就可能 Peter 就可以回应了。
没有。
No,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel don't have anything to add. Yeah.
So should I respond to question 2, Rachel's
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, Rachel's.
So the
Yeah.
conflict between a client and a consultant. What do I do with that? And the best thing in a conflict is listen and help the other person feel understood. You're disappointed in me. We don't agree on the next step. You want my whole team in the room. I don't think we should be in the room. Don't you understand the problem with this person over there? And you say, I got it. Thank you. And then ask people when they're mad, why is it important to you? Don't keep asking them what they're angry about. It doesn't take me anywhere. What that takes me something is me talking about, what does this mean to you? If you're upset with me, I want to know why you're upset. But I say, why is this important to you? And I'm always switching from content to meaning. And the point is, when people feel understood and seen, they're willing to let go of their disappointment. I can't talk them out of it. And then it's up to me to do the same. Well, here's how I see how things are going. And here's why it matters to me. And then you pause and you say, is there some points that we do agree on that we can build on? And mostly their disappointment in us is their own despair. Anything can be different. So sometimes you say, I know you're upset with me, the consultant, but what do you think is possible in this situation? And, the question was spoken as, how do we guide them to a positive? I'm not there to guide people. I'm not a tour guide, because the tour guide knows the destination. I don't know the destination. We're here to create the destination together. And when people are upset with us, mostly they need to know that they can be understood, even when they're not their best selves. And you can also ask the question, I see you're disappointed. What do you see working between us? And but it's hard. But mostly you need to help people express their disappointment without paying a price for it. And a little prayer helps from time to time. Because it's very painful to have clients upset with you, especially when they are executives in the company. But I was always a little uneasy dealing with high-level people, but I wanted to act as if we're peers for the moment.
Okay, yeah, maybe I can summarize quickly for Rachel. And对，这里我觉得 Peter 刚才说到了很重要的一个关于就是面对冲突的时候，我们首先做的就是聆听，以及确保对方觉得他自己的想说的被理解了，就是被听到了啊，而这个聆听的基础上呢，进一步的去探寻，就是这个问题，这个他讲的为什么对他重要，他为什么对这件事情这么沮丧，或者这么让他有不满，或者任何的这样的情绪，就是为什么这个东西对他这么重要？那这个时候呢，其实呢，他就有机会讲到了他的这个情绪背后的更多的去表达为什么对他重要，而这时候呢，其实就是从内容到了意义的部分，所以 Peter 其实不断的是会把这个关系中的双方带到了就是对你的意义是什么，为什么对你重要，和那对我为什么等到你充分先让听到了对方以后，再进入到表达我这边我是怎么想的，那我为什么认为这个对我重要？那有了这样的话呢，就是会当这些情绪被真的表达出来了，这些意义被表达出来的时候，那其实大家就可以进入到一个共创，就可以继续往前去共创一个解决方案了。
对，然后我再加一句 Maria， 就我觉得挺有意思的一句话，就是Peter 说不要去引导，因为引导的话，我们是在做导游啊，做导游就意味着说我们是知道终点在哪儿的，目的地在哪儿的，但实际上这个目的地是要跟对方、跟客户去共创的。
对，是的，对。好 ，Rachel 还有问题吗？对，听到这个对你的。
我对刚刚 May 说的那句话还挺有感觉的，就是不要引导去做导游，然后你的目的地是要跟对方共创的。这个可以稍微展开一点点说吗？让 Peter。
Okay. So Peter, Rachel would like you to elaborate a bit more about your not to be a tour guide. You're not tour guide. You're there to co-create with the client. Could you elaborate a bit more? Yeah.
Well, it's tempting to think we know what's best for others. It's never useful. We're not their parent, even though they treat us that way. Tell me, what should I do, Peter? What should I do, Peter? Good question. Peter, come on, you're the expert. You wrote the book. I know I did. Silence. I don't know what's best for you. I can help put into words what's happening in this moment. You have doubts. Here's what you seem to want. Here's what you're trying to say no to. That's interesting. There's a question, if the top leader has blind spots or has an issue of integrity, what do we do? We're not here to shine a light on people's blind spots. We're here to help that person be successful despite themselves. And the fastest way to do that is help them say, well, can we get in the room with other people? Now, they can help each other with blind spots, but it puts me in an awkward position. And it's not so much blind spots, it's just, again, what they want from each other is a pathway through a dark moment. And it's difficult. The other thing is, if it's an issue of integrity, I have to decide what I will say no to. I can't be here as a priest or a moral judge. I can decide whether there's anything useful I can do here. And if somebody is lying or doing something questionable, I can see that. I can try to ask them, well, how do you feel about what you're doing? But I can't say, well, this is, I can't, you know, you're sacrificing the integrity. Now, if it's a legal or criminal question, but usually it's not. It's just people aren't telling the truth. And so you say, what can I do to help them feel safe enough? But it gets a little funny when HR is in the position of judge, because maybe the moment calls for that. But when other people watch that, they'll think that's who we are. And that's not what we're there for. We're facilitators. And we're helping them transcend their instinct to judge each other, to compete with each other. And I have to deal with my own feelings. I may not like who they are. And what do I do with that? Well, if I have to work with them, then I put those feelings aside. Not that they're wrong, it's just they're not useful. And usually if I'm angry with somebody, I ask, can I leave the room, please? I have to go to the restroom. Because I know my anger is not going to be helpful. And usually when I give myself a break, or I'll fake equipment problems on my Zoom. And I step back, I say, Peter, you didn't come here to express your anger. You came here to try to contract and talk about what we want and what we choose to do with each other. And then I can think about what was that a trigger for me. There's never a reason to be angry. It's never useful. It is maybe at home because you have to be together. But when people are angry, I usually help them express it without doing anything about it. I was working at a pharmaceutical company that made towels, and 12 people were mad at each other. And I was trying to get them to talk about one. Nothing worked. I said, let's stop. I'd like to go around the room and find out what each of you is angry about with other people. But don't respond. And we did. We took about 30 minutes. So I'm upset with this and this and this. You did. Thank you. Next. Well, I'm upset with so-and-so. Next. And stopped. And then I came back, I said, now, could you say what you want from each other? So you always bring, when I tell you what I want, it's always healing, even if I can't get what I want.
Mm.
And so the expression of wants is not to get what you want, but that's the best chance we have of a positive outcome. Because people tell it what they want from each other. What are their doubts about what they want from each other? I asked them, where you feel vulnerable? And I know in Chinese culture, men don't talk about their vulnerability. Well, they don't talk about it in any culture, but I asked the question anyway. And most vulnerability is about loss of control. So if we're stuck, I say, is there any way you feel you're losing control as a result of our working on this? That's what I mean. It's painfully simple. It's just hard.
Rachel
非常感谢。
get 了啊。OK。OK， 好，时间关系啊，那我们继续 move on， 就是到 Vivian 的问题了啊。
Let me
OK，
ask a quick question. How is this sounding to people? We have 15, 20 minutes left. How are we doing? Is this useful? I'm grateful you're speaking Chinese, but I can't hear people's concerns directly. So are you getting what you came for is a good question halfway through every time we're together.
OK， 对 Peter 说，我们现在进行到现在，大家觉得还 OK 吗？这样进行OK，
I'm just surprised that Peter never forgets asking this question. You never forget.
Well,
I feel it's great.
Usually we evaluate things after they're done. How did it go? How would you rate it?
Yes.
It's too late.
Yes.
Right.
I'll be dead. Okay. And you can't go back. Oh, last week when no, you can't do that. And
Right.
when you ask the question, it allows us to correct before it's over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember in the Flawless Consulting, you have this and the feedback meeting in the halfway down, you ask this kind of a question. Yeah. 好，大家 OK 的话，有什么回应吗？觉得这样进展？
我们先往前吧，我现在有点天哪，
有点着急了。
我觉得
好像大家也还 OK 啊，没有特别好。
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on, Peter.
Oh, did anybody answer my question?
Okay.
I said it's great. It's great. At the same time, I'm anxious about time. Before you go, I want to get more affirmation, more elaboration from you.
Maybe a quick. 我觉得还是请每个人很快回
One
应。
word. How about one
一个
word
词
from
就
each
好了，一个
person?
词就好了，这样是一个回应。好
一个
，Rachel 先那个回应一下吧。你刚才的这个，你 OK 吗？你进行到现在。
我 OK 啊，我非常感谢 Peter 能够占用你的时间帮我们讲得很充分，我觉得还是很有收获的，非常感谢。
Yeah, Rachel is very okay, and she's appreciative to your response, and yeah, feel good. No.
Ivy?
Okay.
Ivy talks with her fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, Abby. Abby is getting some essence, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wait. See, the other thing when you ask in the middle, how's it going? It doesn't matter what the answer it is, but it says that sometimes reflecting on our experience is useful. And in the business world, there's very little time for reflection as an action step.
Right.
And I don't know how many times, and you can sometimes sense when there's low energy in the room. And I've learned to stop and say, could you stop for a second and ask yourself, are you getting what you came for? And that changes the energy in the room.
Yeah.
It re-engages people without blaming them.
Yeah.
And if people who are having trouble with you, I don't want them to leave. I want them to stay. And the fastest way to get them to stay is to say, tell me what your concerns are. And sometimes they're very upset. This makes no sense to me. You HR people, you OD people, as if we're some kind of illness or disease or stigma. You always do the same thing, asking your stupid questions. And if they say that, it brings them back. And I say, thank you. And they discover through their aggressiveness that maybe this is a room that can accept them no matter what they do. And that's what makes business work. Not great compensation, not great training, not performance appraisals, but the notion that this is a place where I can be who I am. And you don't give lectures on that, you give people the experience of that. Okay, let's get back to the questions. I don't want to disappoint you.
哎呀，不过刚才 Peter 这个短暂的停的体验和表达的也都很棒，我们后面还可以再重温一下这个部分啊。那我们继续往前问那个问题啊。好，微微的问题呢是关于这个，也是另外一种，我觉得也是通常也很挑战的，就是在这个。尤其涉及到一些权利和这种权威的关系啊，我也把它那个放一下。Okay, so so 微微你有任何再补充一点的吗？就你的问题。
听得到吗？
可以的，可以的。
Okay. Actually, I have no more information. Just to explain. Actually, as in-house HR, we are not purely OD consultant role. Sometimes we are facing some situation and the political situation. So maybe our role is hard to be neutral and hard to be the always authentic and the professional as the maybe external OD consultant.
All right, I can respond.
So our intervention may sometimes is a lack of enough.
Thank you, Vivian.
Yeah,
you said it's hard to be neutral, right? It is hard to be neutral. And then you forgive yourself when you're not. It is hard. It's hard not to take it personally. But there's no answer to that other than the fact that when it's hard. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us. It's just that if I take a side and realize it, then I apologize. Wait a second, I just took a side here. You know, that we want to live by the authenticity that we ask of them. And it's difficult, you know. And trust is built through our vulnerability. It's not built from confidence. Trust isn't built from performance or looking good. Trust is built from our being authentic with each other, and not about my life or my sins, but about this moment. And you can say out loud, you know, I came here to support both of you, and I'm having a little trouble at the moment. As soon as you say that, you're no longer having trouble. And
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a leadership position. But the job of leaders is to invite vulnerability about the moment, not about the life. It's not therapy. I don't want to know what your father was like or your last job in this moment, and usually ask, you know, what are they concerned about? And then accepting that answer without fixing it. And they say, well, what are you going to do, Vivian? And you say, I don't know at this moment. Nothing comes to mind. But thank you for letting me know. And the expression of doubts gives us choice over them. That makes sense? You having any doubts about what I'm saying now?
Thank you. Actually, sometimes it's really what I did in my role, and just to accept the situation and try best to support if I can. But sometimes if the situation is not right time, maybe I can just set up behind that and to just wait the right moment.
Yes.
I think that's the things I did.
It's called pause.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break. Let's pause. This isn't the right moment. And most of my mistakes is when I tried to force this moment into being right. And afterwards, anyway, thank you for what you said.
Okay, so
谢谢。
Vivian, yeah, 谢谢 Vivian 的问题。还有 Abby 的 ，OK。Abby 的可能前面 Peter 好像也回应了一点啊，不过还是那个。
We have about 10 minutes. How would you like to spend those 10 minutes?
对，我们
15.
还有10分钟啊，我们看看 Abby，你此刻最想问什么吧？你前面的那个，因为我感觉 Peter 前面你好像已经万变不离其宗，我感觉你好像已经获得了一些什么。对 ，Abby 有想。对，
这画面冻住了。
Yeah,
I think Ivy has some problem with internet connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe as Abby's connection is not so good, so maybe I move to Peter. Actually, there's one more, not really question, but a want, for your sharing about your use of self. You know, how you develop your capacity or capability of you know, expanding your capacity of use of self. Maybe we can use this remaining time for you to share
Sure.
some of your journey.
I notice one question says that sometimes team members will be silicon people, digital people.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Ivy. That's part of Ivy's.
And then I would just ignore them. Okay, technology is all around us. It's useful, but don't treat it as if it's important. It's just use. And just a thought, you know, I don't know, my journey has been to try to keep find people to be with. You know, it's very, you've chosen a path that most people do not understand. My children never understood what I did for a living. And there was nothing I could do about that. And so we need people, partners with us for affirmation. And then you're looking for people looking for you. And I have a part of my vulnerability is I have this instinct to be a hero. And I've fought this. I always think there's more I should be doing. And I fought the instinct to be heroic and failed most of the time. But if I think now about my journey, is to try to stop doing things that were impossible. Most of my mistakes were I tried too much, tried too hard. I didn't accept the situation as it was. And I don't know, you know, I felt grateful to find something I cared about. And I've never forgotten that. And sometimes it's harder to accept that what you did worked than it is to accept what you did that didn't work. And I think that's why, you know, Vivian, you started this innovative OD, IOC, because we need each other to accept the fact that we're doing important work and it's hard. And you can't ever claim victory. The world wants to compete. It wants to rank each other. And I just keep trying to not participate in that. But anyway, let me stop there. Any other questions? We got 5-7 minutes.
Well,
Or comments, or it's
Peter,
always
may I-
interesting. But the other thing I would say is that the world we live in does not value gifts. It rather talks about what's wrong. And I know your culture is the same as mine. So maybe we should listen to each other and ask people what gifts have they received from each other in this time together. Because the naming of gifts is more difficult than the naming of deficiency. Because as soon as I name a gift, I have to do something with that. I can no longer hide behind my doubts.
Well, Peter, before we move to the gifts, may I just ask a quick follow-up question to your last point of your sharing journey, your journey sharing? Try not to participate, what the dominant, the world is, valuing, like ranking or whatever. What brings you the courage, to not follow the dominant?
I want to be careful who I pay attention to. When I spend time with you or the 7 of you, that's where my courage comes from, to know that I'm not crazy, even though I'm often afraid. And I figure anxiety, it just comes with the path that I've chosen. And that's why we need each other, not as cheerleaders, but just to know that I'm not crazy and I'm not alone. And that's what OD gives to its clients. And, you know, whoever's in the room with you chose to be with you. And what they need from us is affirmation that they're not crazy either. And because somebody inside the company called HR or called you and said, could you come and talk to me? I take that as extremely important. I know what they need is to know they're not crazy. They don't need the solution that they thought. But it does, as soon as I say courage is required, it's useful. Because I can't wait until I'm not afraid before I live my life. And and sometimes it doesn't work. I've survived.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you, Peter, and thank you, everybody. And Peter, can you stay for like 6 more minutes so that we can share a little?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And now we have a checkout question, which is what is the gift you get from today, from somebody here, from one person, maybe Peter, maybe somebody else. 就是我们最后有一个那个 check out 问题，就是你今天从谁那里得到了一个什么礼物？我们尽量简短的来说，好吗？因为 Peter 的话，他可能还有6分钟左右吧，25分他下线，看看谁想先说，我们尽量简短的说一下。
我先来吧。
Yeah, great.
非常感谢有这样的一个对话，对，也很感谢 Peter 和大家。我能感受到 Peter 很希望跟我们有那种交互，我听到他也有这样的期待。我此时此刻想回应的是，我感受到 Peter 用了一个最本源的人和人相处的方式解释了 OD 的那个精神吧。就是无论说的那个，如何去面对那种冲突也好，如何面对一种张力也好，我觉得都好像是回到了最人和人本身接触的那个关系层面在工作，这是我说的分享。
Yeah, okay. The gotten learned from Peter, is that the most fundamental thing to OD is the human being relationship. 简要的翻译一下啊。好。
And we do that because it works.
非常简要。
说你最后一句话。就是Peter 说，因为这个有用，管用，it works。好的，
谢谢 Peter，谢谢大家。我觉得整个过程其实都非常有帮助，但是刚才在最后一段，虽然我不确定翻译软件翻译的正不正确，但是我这边显示的是，是什么让你有勇气不跟随占主导地位的人？然后 Peter 说 ，You 就是你们。当我和你们在一起的时候，你们7个人就是我勇气的来源。我知道我没有疯。我觉得这句话给我好大的冲击，因为那个泪腺就是可能我本身也有一点泪失禁体质，就是眼泪一下就涌出来了，所以我觉得那可能就是今天最棒的礼物。
What is most striking to Iris was the almost the last thing, Peter, when you responded to Maria's question about where's your courage from, and you said it's you, to be with you, 7 of you in this room, so that you don't feel that you're crazy. Yeah, so Iris is almost in tears. Iris 很开心听到你的声音，最后谢谢。好的，我们接上 Richard 怎么样？
我觉得今天感受还挺好的，就是对于我这种懒人来说，就是很喜欢化繁为简的方式，直击本质。 都有一种天下武功最常用的就那几招，我觉得还挺好。对，
另外我也要提醒一下，就是大家要说你从谁那里得到了什么礼物，好吗？
我从 Peter 和我们的交流的这个过程当中得到这个礼物。
Yeah. Okay. From Peter and from our conversations, so the gift I got is that to make it simple. And I'm a lazy person, so I love this kind of way, just to be simple. And also something from Gordon, he wrote in the chat room, and he said, yeah, simplest and also hardest thing is the relationship. Okay. So.
Maybe I can also share my gift. Actually, also from a team member, especially Peter, because Peter speaks a lot. Actually, my learning as maybe before that, maybe I also expect some the experience or some the answer for those questions. But in the end, I realized the most powerful is ourselves and how to be authentic, how if I still have the always have the courage to show vulnerability and to be human centricity. And no matter as OD consultant or HR or even as just a person. So I think the power of the people connection and the mutual understanding as the most powerful things and the most beautiful gift and the most powerful weapon for everything. So that's my learning and earning here today.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vivian. I would also add curiosity is the pathway
Yes.
of authenticity.
Mhm.
And so when I lose myself, I just try to come back with curiosity instead of judgment. But anyway, it's beautiful, Vivian. Thank you for saying that.
好奇，除了真实坦诚以外，好的 ，Ivy 是吗 ？Ivy 还没说，
会听到吗？
听到
Okay.
啊
，Yes，
终于听到了。
听到，你说，你的到了谁的？
我觉得很神奇，你们知道吗？到最后结束的时候，我刚才那个词儿冒出来是 peaceful，就是我居然收获了一份平静。
Peace from whom? From whom?
我觉得是从from Peter and all of you.
Great. Thank you, Ivy. I think it's perfect that I want to follow Ivy because I feel really relaxed. And what struck me the most is what Peter said in responding to Vivian. You said, forgive yourself. It is hard to be neutral and forgive yourself. So, yeah. So I just feel relaxed, and I'm just a designer to be not able to be neutral all the time. It's okay. Thank you, Peter. This is the gift I received. Okay, Maria.
I'm adding to everyone's, but one specific gift I received from Peter was creating a pause experience for us. Right before the last 15 minutes, and also shared why how it works. So I just feel like, yeah, as for OD, we are not talking about OD, we are creating experience for people.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a great statement, that we're here creating experiences for people, us included. We're not here to explain ourselves.
Yeah.
Somebody who talks all the time and writes all these books, that's been a struggle. And also just the thought that maybe we're enough. It's been my big struggle. I always think I should be more.
Yeah. Yes, we are good enough. That makes us feel at peace. And Peter, you have one statement in the Flawless Consulting, the book, which is the struggle is the solution. So all the struggles are the solution already. Thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that the book has worked. I wrote the book in 1979.
79, yes.
46 years ago. And every once in a while I have to revise the book, and I'm always surprised that I like what I wrote 45 years ago. So there's something useful about these concepts, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm grateful for you all too.
Yeah, and it might be even more relevant now.
I feel that given the world I'm living in, which is an enormous shock to me, my own country, I'm needed more than ever in my own small, pathetic way.
Yeah.
More than ever, even if it's within reach, small scale, that I can't let the world define who I am or walk away from it. We can't. That's why I'm almost starting to take my work seriously.
Yeah.
And
thank you. And we need you. We need you.
I'm here.
We will meet again. See you.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
See
You
you.
guys can stay. I have to go. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah.
已经下了。
好了。
很快就下了。
我们可以到那个视频上可以截屏的，不要紧。
好的。
是了吗？好的，好。美瑞，你看我们还要怎么样？
有什么特别想聊的吗？就是感觉还意犹未尽的，还想聊几句吗？包含刚才还有哪个地方，就觉得特别想，好像还想说点啥的。
是的，自由交流。
我就觉得就是到最后，反正跟老爷子聊吧，就聊到最后都是大道至简。
是的，
就把上面东西都全部都撇开，就下面就是那些最根本的东西。
等你到了80岁也有这种大道至简的感觉。
我希望我60岁就有。
你加了个 AI 的脑子就有了。
我奇了怪了 ，Peter 一下去，我网络就好了。
看来我的这个干扰啊 ，Peter 说 AI 很有用，但是不要把它弄得当成太重要了，对吧 ？Useful but
对，但他前面那个说的就是它是一个 accelerator， AI 是一个 accelerator， 对，
他说这个我就快说一句啊，就是我周末在支持一个公益的工作坊，然后参与者全部都是 AI 界的人，然后我在他们身上有一个观察，就是他们很难专注，然后很忍不住就把模型拿出来帮他们工作，所以我回应到那个 Peter 那句话，就是很好很有用，但是人跟他怎么跟他相处，还是被他所占有和占领。我就一下子想到这个。
对，我还想说一句 ，Maria， 就是最后，比如说 Peter 下线之前嘛，他就因为，我那个他说到他这本书79年写的，对吧？但是8081年出版，他说这个40几年前写的这个书，发现他还是很有用，甚至他觉得他自己现在更被需要了，因为美国的这个很多情况变化，大家知道，更被需要了。所以我想到是我们在我们的这个国家，我们的这个这个很多的这个 AI 也好，对吧？很多经济转型啊等等，下行等这个巨变之下啊，出海啊等等之下，我觉得我们也更被需要了。
对。 是的，
对，只是说我们需要更多的相信，有可能更加坚定。这是一开始 Peter 讲的，就是很难，然后是需要 believe，对吧？believe in。
这里我觉得对应这个呢，我觉得这个需要呢，我觉得今天 Peter 还有一点对我触动很大的，就是 content，他总是能 shift content，从 content 到 meaning。
process。
那因为一到 meaning 的话，其实就跟人有关了，那跟一群人的意义建构有关了。在这个层面的话，其实那个影响是会非常不一样。对，就是因为在 content 里面呢，它不断的有更多的 content 或者更多的 solution，然后我们就卷到 content 里面去了。但是其实呢，OD 它是在 process 和人和 process 的层面在作用力的。所以他今天说那个三方的那个三角的那个合约的时候，你看他是要触动这相关方去对话，触动这个 meaning 的那个交流，而不是对，就是这个。但是呢，这个呢，我觉得他对我们很难的挑战是什么？就他最后回答就是他非常在意他的 attention 去了哪儿，因为我们大部分的 attention 呢都会被
内
容和外在的东西带走，我们很难去觉察我们的关注力去了哪儿。但一旦你被内容带走的话，可能就忽略掉人和过程。所以其实做 OD 的那个，我觉得就是守在那个过程的关注力，守在这个地方，那个有那种觉察力，其实就是又要听 content，但是又要保有一个对我们的关注力去了哪儿的一种觉察。这个其实是特别挑战的。这就跟冥想和打坐一样，就是你的意图是说我要关注呼吸，但是下一秒就咔就脑袋就被念头带走了，然后你要很快觉察又带回来，它就有点就是某种程度的难，都有点像那个。
其实我有一个问题啊，就是当然这不是对 Peter 的，因为我觉得对他来讲已经过那个阶段，因为我觉得在他那个境界，他聊的，如果我用一个不太正确、不太恰当的比喻，就是好像都聊的都是 OD 的道，然后呢，大家都是聊，可以说心法，可以说道，可以说本源，可以说 fundamental whatever，你用中文、英文，但是在真实的商业世界来讲的话，你有机会让别人白引你的道的话，其实还是要你的术先 work，或者说你的道和术要融合在一起，让别人 work。而且我觉得越到后面道越重要，这是肯定的。但是这就是鸡生蛋和蛋生鸡的问题。所以，我反正，但是我觉得我今天最大 take away 其实就是刚刚妹说的，就是 forgive yourself。就是我觉得今天正好我也在企业内在推这个领导力项目的时候，我们在讲 coaching 的一些原则。因为最近我也好久就是没有再把 coaching 教练那个东西拾起来，然后今天在跟大家讲教练心法的时候，其实发现就是说跟 OD 其实本质是一样的，就是说，比如说你要 trust 每个人都是有资源的，然后 people 是 OK 的，然后所有的都是最佳选择，我们都做了当下最佳的选择。其实我们对做 OD 也是一样的嘛。所以虽然其实我今天提了2个问题，实话说，但是我其实就像妹说的，她一开始开场说那几句话，我就觉得，哎呀，所有的答案都在里面了，所有的答案都在里面，
完了，
就是说。
完了。
对，就是说你不要被我们看到的那个表象所干扰，其实我们要就是相信，就是勇气，就是把我们自己的内功修炼到我有足够的勇气 show vulnerability，但是当他足够 trust 我的时候，我又能拿出足够的这个 solution 给到他，就不能说我光跟他关系好了，然后呢，他也全然的相信我了，但是我最后给的 solution 呢又其实是不到位的，或者说又是不 work 的，那可能这个 trust 也是很难以为继的吧。所以我其实觉得还是术还是要的，因为这个彼此的这个 mutual trust 不是一步促成的，或者至少我们有个团队来做这个事情。
对的，
对，
这是我今天的一个 take away 吧。
是的，
是的。对，大家如果看《完美咨询》这本书，也会看到，就是咨询顾问需要3种技能， 我们的专业技能肯定是非常重要的一个方面，对吧？那 interpersonal 的一些 skills 也是非常重要的，这些基本的一些东西。但是就是今天讲的很多东西，它是在 consulting skills， 在 partnership skill， 因为我们今天主题就是powerful partnership 呢如何去做，这个是超越于这个内容，就 expertise 是我们的内容。但那个有这个内容，你没有那个 relationship， 没有那个好的这个 partnership， 内容是过不去的。所以重要，而是说要加起来。好，还有大家还要 share 什么吗？下线对 Maria 想说什么吗？
没有，我在问大家还有什么想说的。对，
差不多了哈。谢谢，很开心。我今天觉得好像又听到了很多新的内容，当然万变不离其宗，但还是很开心。谢谢大家的非常棒的问题。
今天的录屏可以 share 给我们吗？想回看一下。
对，会剪切出来吗？
对，录屏我们会剪的，就是我们可能文字稿肯定是可以 share 的，然后录屏，对，录屏我们因为最终我们可能要剪辑一些 Peter 的对话系列，就可能会有剪辑的出来，对，
对，要花点时间。
OK，
对，或者是我到时候可以给大家语音的，可以吗？语音的 OK 吗？就是全程的话，
可以呀，
语音加翻译。
对，语音加那个文字稿是吧？那个可能帮助。OK。
然后也正好也跟大家打个招呼，就是这个视频，因为我们邀请 Peter 的话，Peter 有一个媒体的这个就是要求，就是说任何他的公司啊 Design Learning 就是邀请接受邀请的话呢，我这个录屏就是 Maria 这个录制的这个视频的话，我会要 share 给到 Peter 的公司的 Design Learning。我想我们这里应该没有什么敏感性，对吧？没有什么敏感，对吧？OK。会分享回去，也许他们会有个画面啊，在他们的这个一些social media 上有个公布，但不一定哈。如果有的话，他会跟我说的。好，谢谢大家，晚安。
好，谢谢，拜拜。
谢谢。
拜。